Hello, my name is Anne, and this is Toby, and welcome to a Tobyknits podcast, episode 199. What? I know. Can you imagine I've been rambling on about my knitting for this long? Oh. Anyway, if you're new, grab a cup of tea, which apparently I don't have with me today for some unknown reason.
I didn't make it.
Hello, Bob didn't make it for me. That's exactly what it is. Well, you know, you can't get good help anywhere these days. What can I tell you?
I hear that.
You were meant to. Anyway, how is everybody? I hope you're all doing well. So today it's all about the knitting and the crochet. So if that's down your alley, like I said, grab a cuppa, get comfy, and we're going to chit chat. I've got all kinds to tell you today, all kinds. You might even need a piece of paper and a pen. You know, you just might. I don't know. Wednesdays, as you know, is cross stitch and embroidery. But today, as I said, it's Monday. We're talking about the knitting. And I would like a drum roll, please. Please, can I have a drum roll, please? Because I have a finished object. I know, I am on such a roll right now. It's ridiculous. But they're not really big projects. But I finished the key mittens. Are they not the loveliest things ever? And they go perfectly with my new jacket, so they're going in my jacket pocket. It was a very interesting knit, this. I learned how to do an Italian cast on. The first 2 rows were knit straight on a DPN using double knit. I've done that before. And then it was just plain knit 1, purl 1. Then we had this lovely chart to follow, and you followed the chart from the top right up to the bottom. There was no thumb gusset, and but you did put in a marker, some waste yarn for the thumbs, because as you can see, the thumb is not on the front, it's on the back. And then they're really more like an afterthought heel. You pick up the stitches for the thumb, you knit it straight for 2.5 inches, and then you do your tips. So really lovely and very quick to make. So this is the Key Mitten by Petite Knits, and I love them. The yarn I used was, what was it? Can anybody remember? 226 superwash. Oh, just a minute, I have to get it. Because this is how much I had left, by the way, of the 100-gram ball to do the beige. I had 100 grams of this, and I still have that much left. Cascade Yarns 220 superwash. I don't know what this color is. It's color number 873. So I am super, super pleased that I got these finished. Yay! So this is one of the 10 new cast-ons. So of my 10 new cast-ons, I've completed 2 of them. Bob's socks. Yeah, okay, it was on circular sock machine. And then these. So I'm so excited because now I get to bring over another new project from the 10 cast-ons to take place in my whips, current whips, active whips. Yes, darling? Are you going to come and say hello? Oh, wait for it.
Hello.
Huge wit. Are you taking the dog out?
I guess I'll remind your viewers. 22 days.
It was 22 days till his birthday.
You remembered.
Well, I'm assuming that's the only thing you reminded me of.
Yes, but it's the big one. You don't know.
The big one?
65.
Oh, that big one. I don't want a party.
I don't
want you to do anything. I just want to go out for dinner. I had all this stuff planned. I had everything organised. No, I didn't. Oh my goodness. Anyway. but it is his birthday on the 23rd of February. And I always forget. Well, you see, the problem was, when I met him, he was either 27 and his birthday was the 23rd, or he was 23 and his birthday was the 27th. So I'll get them mixed up. I never know. So I always go for the first one just to be on the safe side because, you know, I can't get it wrong then. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. Anyway, enough about hello, Bob. Let's get back on. So the active whips now that I've got brought in are, of course, the Musselburgh, but the Musselburgh is my car knitting, and we haven't been out much lately because it's been too blinking cold here in Canada. Way too cold, thank you. I don't go out when it's this cold, and I'm not just talking, you know, 0 degrees. I'm talking minus 24. I don't do that. I don't. We had one day when it was minus 50, like that was ridiculous. And I don't know why that's all tangled up. I'll have to figure that out after. So I don't go out when it's like that because it really bothers my asthma. I can't stop coughing when I go outside. So, and even in the car, like we've gone out, I think twice this week in the car. Like Bob drove me into a knit thing yesterday, which I'll tell you all about in a minute. But I was too excited to knit then, and it was also way too blinking early. And then another day we went out to do some shopping in Kempville, and Kempville's not far. So I did manage to get 6 rows done. 6! Oh my, I think it's 6. Let's have a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, no, sorry, 5. 5 rows done on my way into Kempville. Now, here's the thing for you. I don't know how many of you do this or not. Do you count the stitches on the needle in your stitch count? I do, and here's why. Because it is a stitch, and it becomes the stitch as you take it off on the next round. So it is actively a stitch. So if you look, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 5. So that's how I count my stitches when I am doing my rows, so I can see where I am, because I'm a visual knitter. I don't always put place things in. I don't always, especially with this, because it's just plain knitting now until it reaches the right size. And I haven't got very far, obviously. It's beautiful yarn though, isn't it? And it's, so that's how I count. And sometimes what I'll do is if I need to match it with another, say a pair of socks, I don't need to match with this, then I will just every 10 rows put a stitch marker in. But these are actually here because these, that's my beginning of round, and these here are for the decreases. I don't know if you can see that there. For the decreases at the other end when I get the right amount of stitches. So this one doesn't get a lot of love because it's only when I go out in the car. Obviously, I do more knitting in the car in the summer when we're out and about. Then because I finished Bob's socks, I brought in another sock tube that I had just, oh, do you like my new bag? Oh, look. I have made 3 smalls and 1 large, and I've sold all the smalls already before I've even had a chance to put them in the shop. This is the larger one, and this one, let me see if I can measure this one for you and tell you what the small ones are. I know I've got a tape measure in here somewhere. I like the little thin tape measures. Yes, I do. Just one moment, please. So the small regular sizes are, I can't do that one because, let me do this one, are usually around, there's a 3-inch bottom, and then they're normally around 8.5 to 9 inches by 8. So that's the finished on these. These are perfect for socks. But the bigger one, I wanted it for maybe shawls or something. And this one ends up being 11 by 9.5. So it's a little bigger, but not much, than this one. So that one will go in the shop. And I'm obviously going to have to get more of this fabric because I made this one it was going to go in the shop, this one, but I boo-booed on the base, and I did the box bottom too big, so it's a little shorter, and so I figured, oh, I might as well have that one for me. I don't like selling stuff that's not to my standard of what it should be. So, and you know, I mean, you could always do with a new bag, right? Right. So here is the new one that I did, as you know. So I took, one end had waist yarn and the other didn't, because I forgot to put the waist yarn on at the other end. So I thought, that's okay. I'm not going to worry or fuss about it. It won't unravel right away. So what I did was I counted down from where it had come off the machine, and I counted down about 12 to 14 rounds. So again, I just counted all my little V's till I got down to 14, and then I put the pins in like this, the DPNs, where you pick up every other loop, or every other V, I should say, and then I put them in on both sides, and then I just unraveled, and I ended up with like a little piece like this, and so still attached, mind you. And then I knit the cuff, and I did the what do they call this one, broken rib? No, what's this one called? I always forget the name of this, where you go behind the back of the loop and do that. But isn't it cute? It's so funny because it is they are straight, but it looks like they're diagonal in my view here, but they're straight. And I guess it's the way the color is going. So I did that at that end. Then my plan was I was going to cut for the middle and then, you know, do my toe. Then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. So, because I also want to do the toe in this color and maybe the heel, I'm not sure yet. So then the next plan was I'll do the cuff on the other end. So I had the waist yarn in that end. So I just counted back from the waist yarn 14 rounds, and I put it in. Now I only knit 12 rounds of cuff because that's what I like. I don't like a big cuff. And the reason I counted back 12, not just 14, not just 12, because I was doing the cast off where you have to do the stretchy bind off, and I needed more yarn than I normally would have. So that's why I did that. And again, I did end up having this little piece left over from either end. So now I have my whole sock tube with one end as a cuff and the other end as a cuff. So I folded it in half like this. And typically, if you were doing an accented toe or heel, you would then just put this on your needles and knit your toe. But I don't like socks that long. So my plan is I am going to put another set of needles underneath, which is what you have to do. So if you can see there, they're on this one. So I ignore the next V and I go to the V after. So I leave a V complete, and then I put my needles in both sides, and then I will cut that yarn out from in that middle. So both of these then will be separated, and both of them will be on a set of DPNs. Good job we get 5 DPNs, isn't it? So then my plan is to count down 2 inches, and then put my regular chow goes in, again, picking up either side, and then just pull that needle out, pull the yarn back, and knit my toe in that color. And I'll do that for both. At that point, I will then work out where my heel will go and decide if I'm going to do the heel in white, or if I end up with enough scrappy bits of this color left over from my calculations from the toes to do it in the same color. I don't think I will, so I'm pretty sure I'll just do the heel in white. So that is my socks. So that I have had fun working on. And then the other thing that I did was, because I finished the key mittens, I brought in the blanket for Lucia, which is called the Herringbone blanket. And I have got more of this yellow done. When you'd last seen this, I had started it in the green, and then I had just cast on, or just put on the first round, the first row of the yellow. So I got a little bit of the yellow done. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 4 more yellows before I start the next color. And this is very soft and squishy. It's just a lap blanket for her to wear when she's watching her brother play hockey at the rink. And this is called the herringbone stitch. And it's also the herringbone throat, but it's the stitch itself is the herringbone, which is a very interesting stitch. It's like a, oh, what would you call it? A half double crochet with a double crochet added to it. It's a very interesting stitch. It's a tighter stitch than the regular half double crochet. And it's very nice. So this came out and had a little bit of love. So that's now the active whip. And the other 2 colors in this are white and black. So I think I'm going to do, I had decided what color I was going to do next. Black. And then the white is what I'm going to do. This original pattern calls for, but it's meant to be knit crocheted, sorry, all in one color, and was called for 4 balls of this. But because I'm doing it in stripes, I'm either going to run out if I do it, because all I've got left of the green is that, and that's not going to do 10 more rounds. So what I might do is I might end up just ordering it 4 more balls. They're not expensive, and they came from Mary Maxim, and they're pretty quick getting here. So I figured I might order just 4 more balls, except they've ran out of 2 of the colors I need at the minute. So that'll have to wait. But I might order 2 more balls, because then I can make it as long as I want. And also I can maybe put the frilly bits on the end, you know, for her, make that look kind of cute. Or I can make some stuffed toys with whatever's left over. Yarn never goes to waste, does it really? So that's my plan, I think. I was going to fuss about with it and add to the bottom and add to the top, but I'm not now. I think that's what I'm just going to do, order some more yarn. And then the last project that I've got on the go, so what's that? Car knitting, the sock tube, the blanket, and Sunny's sweater. So this is, I was knitting this. I was knitting this yesterday. And I said to the girls, this looks really tiny. I don't know if is this where you should start for the arms? Because like it just looked tiny. It looked like, I don't know if that's enough. And then of course, if you know my sweet Sunny, she's the little tiniest, minutest little 2-year-old you probably ever met in your life. If you looked at it, you'd think she was 1. She's very, very tiny. So when I saw this and it was finished, and it like I finished the back, and I looked and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if it'll be too big for her. Anyway, look. How dinky is this? I just love it. Oh, and my friend Sue, who was at the thing yesterday, she won a door prize, and it had 5 bird stitch markers in, and she gave me that one. I love blue jays. So yeah, isn't it lovely the way it's knitting up? Though that is actually 2 blues there, although I'm pretty sure it's hard to see. One's got more white in it than the other. But it's really pretty. Now, I have to do the back neck, the front neck, sorry. And this is the yarn I'm using, which is King Cole, I think it's Drift. I don't know if I have the... Gosh, why do I never have yarn labels these days? Where'd it go? I got 2 balls because it's supposed to take 2 balls to make this sweater, but... so yeah, it's King Cole... Bramble, sorry, it's Bramble in the DK, and this is called Thistle. So, yeah, that's what I've got left. So, I think if I start, I think we've gone back to the color because this definitely looks like that to me. So I feel like we've gone back to here. But I don't know if my colors will be exactly on, if you know what I mean, for the front and the back. It might be off a little bit depending on how much of this I can get done in that color. Because it just worked out really well that all of this color was, you know, was the one for the rib, and then you go into the next color. I feel like I won't get all the rib in that color. I might be off a row or 2, but I don't think that's going to matter to you. So anyway, I'm very happy with how that's worked out. So yeah, those are my active whips. So as I said, I brought in Herringbone blanket to take over from the Key Mittens, and I brought in a new sock tube to take over from Bob's socks. So I like to try to have 6 active whips on the go. Do I work on all 6 of them? No, I don't. I still haven't worked on Pinocchio, which I really would like to get finished. Hi, baby. Oh, did you go out? Which I really would like to get finished. So I might work on that today, actually. And I still have the Wildwood shawl and the mixed media shawl as part of my 6. So that's what we'll try. But I do want to get Pinocchio finished sooner rather than later. So what happened this past week? Thursday night, my friend Pam came over. Hi, Pam. And she's the lady that used to live in the Netherlands. They went to work in the Netherlands for Louis, the spinning, weaving thingy people. And for the last 3 years, but now they're finished the contract, and so they're back, and she's back, and I'm so excited she's back. And she is now working with Euroflax. Now, Euroflax is a linen, and this current linen, I think it is available in other stores around. I don't know how many stores yet in Canada. I know they're the distributors now. And I know that it's featured in, what's it called now? Hang on a minute. I gotta think of the name of it. LoftyFiber in the States. They sell it. They are now the producers of it. And so it's a linen. I have never worked with a full linen before, ever. I've worked with a linen, it was in something else, and I made a pair of socks for Sean one time out of that, but I feel like it either had nylon in it or something else. But this is very straw-like. It's very, anyway, I've never worked it. I'm very excited to work with it. So Pam was over, and she graciously gave the ladies of my knit club a bunch of, yeah, I know he's got his bone in here now. Is that my cup of tea?
No, it's your turn.
Oh, I made the last one.
Who made it? Breakfast?
You made the last one. I'm busy.
Whatever.
Is it time for you to go to work yet?
No, I got a couple more hours here.
So I've never worked with this. It is a 2, so it's a fingering weight. And Pam said to us that when you get this yarn, don't put it in a cake, because if you put it into a cake, if you skein it, you know, take this and put it into cake, it will implode on itself, whether you take from the inside or the outside, because just the nature of it. She said you need to wind it by hand. So she wound one for me by hand. So this is this color wound by hand. She also then gave us all a shawl pattern, a cowl pattern, sorry, that she has written. So there's my friend Pam, and there is the cowl pattern that she'd written. It's called the Brynley Cowl. And she's put here, when designing this pattern, I envisaged a soft, elegant, and timeless cowl, one that could be worn as a piece of jewelry. Euroflax Linen is the ideal yarn for this project. After washing and drying, so you don't wash it beforehand or anything, you make your item and then you wash it. It transforms into a wonderful, soft, flowing fabric that's a pleasure to wear. And she is totally right. She brought over with her a couple of other things that she'd made over the years, and with this, one of which was a sweater, and she had made it, little summer top, and she made it in 2018. You'd think it was only made last week. There was no pilling, there was no, anyway, I'm very excited to start working this yarn. And they, LoftyFibers and her are, LoftyFibers is hosting a KAL for this cowl. So I'll give you the information. LoftyFibers will be hosting a KAL on Zoom using the Euroflax Linen starting February the 25th, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it will run from February the 28th until March the 18th. So 4 weeks of a Zoom KAL. Oh, I'm excited. And we'll be knitting the Brynley Cowl. It's a 1 skein project, so all you need is this to make that cowl. And kits are available at LoftyFibers, and there is a link with a discount, 10%, if you use this code, and the pattern can be purchased on Ravelry. So I hope you're going to join. I'm definitely going to join in. I'm going to be knitting the cowl, and I am very excited about that. I will also put all the details below about for the meeting, so that you'll have it. Maybe save this video for the information, but closer to the time, I will mention it again and add the link again so everyone knows. And I'll put the link up in my Tobyknits and Friends Facebook group so we know. So that's exciting. So I hope you're going to join me in that cowl. The other thing that happened was yesterday I went to, my friend Brenda puts on, it used to be called the North Grenville Fiber Fest, I think. Something like that. And she used to do a festival once a year, and then she started just doing a knit day in January. She now just does the knit day in January, and it's a lot of fun. There was like 35, 40 of us yesterday, all sitting around in a nice conference room. We had chairs and tables, and they were very comfortable too, considering we were sitting there from 9 o'clock till 4. There were door prizes. There was prizes on the table. Everybody, when they got there, got this little cute little thing. So it came with a pen and this. And I didn't know what this was for at first, but there was also a jar of lavender on another table that you could fill this pouch with to put in your sock drawer or something. I totally forgot to go and get my lavender, but whatever. There was also 2 teeny weeny little skeins of yarn. They are super cute. I don't know where this is from or anything. I don't know. There was this little stitch marker. There was 2 things of chocolate. There were 2. There still are 2. I have not eaten one. I haven't cheated. And I love these tape measures. I have one in every bag now, just about, with a pair of scissors. You just never know when they're going to come in handy. So that was on our table for everybody, which was fabulous. We also had another one of my friends left this very nice little package on the table, and inside of this she gave us a little packet of these. Now I love the blueberry ones. I've never had the pomegranate ones, so I'm going to have these. And one of my favorite ways to eat these chocolate treats is I put them in the freezer, and then I eat them from the freezer, and they're like toffee. They're really good, but they're healthy toffee. It was also a tea bag, so that will be good for when you're going to bed. And this was who it was from, my friend Tanya, who is a yoga instructor in Kempville. And what she did was, during our day, we had a little, at like 11 o'clock-ish, 10:30, 11, she did a little stretching thing with us where we all kind of got up and did a bit of stretching, just, you know, because you're sitting in the chair for a while. And then just after, I think it was it before lunch or after lunch? What's the matter, baby? You want to get up? She did chair yoga with us. Oh, I've never done chair yoga before. It was very good. And Pam was saying to me too, it makes you realize how not flexible you are. You're already sitting in a chair. But I mean, just even moving, like, it's like one arm wouldn't do something, the other arm did it fine, you know, you're like, wow. But it was very good, and it definitely helped me. And to be honest with you, I got home at 5 o'clock, I made supper, sat in a chair and cross-stitched all night and did a bit more knitting, and then I went to bed. Now, it was 12 o'clock, so I'll give you that, it was a bit late. I slept like a log till 6:30. I didn't even wake up in the night. So it was very enjoyable. Thank you, Tanya. I really enjoyed it. So it was a lot of fun. The food was put on by the brownies, I think it was, or Girl Guides, one of them. They catered, so they came in and they had like platters of ham and turkey breast and cheese and crackers and fruit and veggies. It was lovely. And then we had, you could buy raffle tickets. So I bought a raffle ticket and won. In fact, I think out of the 6 people at our table, 5 of us won something. Anyway, I won this. Check this out. So, it came like this, all wrapped up like that, because obviously it's a ramen noodle. So it's so this yarn is fingering weight 70% superwash merino, 20% bamboo. I don't think it has a name as such. Mini cactus, I don't know. And this is from Studio Lelaine Cactus Yarn Studio in Gatineau, Quebec. And I've seen these people before at another yarn show, and this is how she does her yarn. She dyes her yarn, but she wraps it and sells it in novel ways. And I think I've shown you them before on a previous podcast. So anyway, then there was this one. Again, same yarn content, just different colors. And I think these are all 25 grams. I don't think it says, but I feel like that's what they are. And then here's the green one. And then there were these inside, which was like, ugh. But apparently these are what you use to eat ramen noodles with. Who knew? I've never had them. And then look at this yarn. This is the coolest. I can't actually tell where it ends and begins and ends. Oh, there. Is that it? So, is this it? Let's see. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I don't know where it ends and starts. She's got it all folded up. It must be. Anyway, so again, here it is. The yarn. And this is bamboo cactus. Fingering weight, 70% superwash merino, 20% bamboo, 10% nylon. Ramen to knit. Isn't that cool? I have no idea how this will all undo so that I can skein it or ball it up. Or is it 2 maybe? Do you know what? I feel it. I think it's 2 skeins. Probably 50 grams each. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I think it's 2 skeins, 50 grams each. So that will make a lovely pair of socks with heels, toes, and cuffs. So I was very happy with that. I thought that was a great gift. And thank you so much, Studio de Lane Cactus. I don't know what your actual name is, but thank you very much. And then there was a table where you could take yarn and do an exchange or whatever. You just, what you don't want. So I took a bag full of yarn that I had that I didn't want anymore, and put it on the table. And I ended up coming away with a couple of these little handmade buys tags. This was there, which is a block party with hat. It's a, it had never been open. I took this off to open it when I got home. So that should kind of be there. So that's what this looked like. And it's this really cute pattern for a child's jumper, sweater, and a hat. But I was more impressed with the fact that the needles were inside. So I loved that idea. So I picked that up. And then I also got some DPNs. These actually, I think my friend Liz donated. And these are, I don't know which end opens. So these are wooden. I like wooden DPNs. And those are 4 mil. Because I seem to have had a real issue with a lot of things I was starting this year were 4 and 450. And I didn't have enough needles. And then these are 450s. And these are like a, I don't know what kind of, there's no name on it. There's nothing on it, but those looked kind of interesting. I love these cases that she has them in. I'm like, what a great idea. And then you just number what it is so that you know. I mean, this is, I wonder where she got that from. So I got 2 of them. And then I also got this book, which had a couple of nice patterns in it. And it's a really interesting book in that it opens up and stands. So there's a stand here on the bottom there. And so you pull that out and it stands. So you can put that on the side of your table when you're knitting, and there's your pattern. So I thought that was very cool. So yeah, so that's everything I picked up. It was a ton of fun. We were all saying at the table, gosh, we should do this every month. But it was just nice to sit around with friends and knit for the day. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Anyway, I am going to go now and get this edited and uploaded to YouTube for you. And I hope you have a fabulous day. And I will see you next Monday for another Tobyknits knitting podcast, or Wednesday for some cross stitch. Talk to you later.